concerts and in its arena that it had. Now, can you imagine in the late 19th century, you're riding on streets now that are cemented and it's nice and smooth, etc. But this was no more than a buggy trail in the late 19th century. So we're talking about 1890 corridor time. And one of the parks that was established was Elmwood Park, which is on the north end of this street. So, folks would get in their horse and buggies and would get out of the city. It was a very hilltop location, a very high elevation at least at that time. There were no streets. There were no lights. There were no nothing. But people like to get out of the city and by horse and buggy and travel up toward this part of the community just for a Sunday afternoon ride. One of the premier parks was what they called the Elmwood Park. And UNO wanted to be near this park. Across the street from UNO, they had a dedication in the 1950s. Actually, it was 1950, where Harry S. Truman came to the city of Omaha to dedicate Memorial Park. And why he did that in World War I, he was a captain in the artillery. And his best friend and he fought, and his best friend died. So when he found out that they were going to have a memorial in Omaha for World War I heroes, he said, I want to go to Omaha to dedicate this park in behalf of my best friend who died during World War I. In battle. So, Elmwood Park became a nationally known golf facility in the country because they had men and women's national tournaments here at this park. Today it still plays well. I play it on occasion, and it can be challenging. And in this park, in the first part of the 20th century, they had a little island in the middle of it, and they put water around it. They called it a moat, and they thought that it would be fun to have some other animals in around the moat on this little island. And you can see the overgrowth of the feeding streams that would have worked during that time. I think it's filled in since then. But they put some monkeys on this island inside of this, around this moat thing around this island. What they didn't realize, they had 100 monkeys. They put them all in there. They said, oh, that'll be nice for the monkeys. Guess what? Them monkeys know how to swim. And the monkeys got out. And they ran all over the city. And it took them damn near a year to round up all the monkeys. And the monkeys, the last one was found out in Florence, Omaha, and he didn't want to go back. Well, that's just one of the stories. I thought that was cute. As I'm going down this road in Elmwood Park, there's a significant story of a happening that occurred in It was in 1957. And there were 4 kids in a 1952 Chevrolet Bel Air. Now, y'all don't know what that is. Some of the older folks that may be on, they might remember it. But it was a General Motors car, and it was actually a 2-door. It wasn't a 4-door. You had to pull the seat so you can get in the back. Well, there's these 4 kids got into the car, and 2 of the girls were from Notre Dame. Notre Dame is now closed out in north part of the city. And 1 from Central and 1 from South High School. Well, they're coming up Leavenworth Street. Leavenworth is right in front of us. And it was late night, about 11:30 at night. And all of a sudden they heard screeching from the car, in which they could not make that left-hand turn like you see that truck that just turned left. I'm gonna put on my blinkers in. Stop this for a second. On your left-hand side, there was a tall pine tree. There was another one that was right in front of it. On this side right here, they hit the corner curve, flew, and landed, and rolled at one time, and it landed next to the pine tree, and then exploded. You could hear, they said, from the neighbors that lived here at the time, especially this one in the brick house on your right, they said that you could hear them screaming and no one could get them out. They burned up. It became a national story. We only had ABC, NBC, and CBS back in those days. But they sent a camera crew out, and they saw the damage that this car had done and the death of the kids. Someone with a bright idea then said, we need to put this on a flatbed and drive it around to all the high schools. Well, back in those days, you only had North High School, that was a brand new school. It was built in 1924. South High School was built about the same time, about 1927. You had Tech High School that existed, and that was it. So they took them to the 3 schools and showed all the kids, this is what happens to your ass. If you speed and get out of control, and that's what had happened. A 1952 Bel Air Chevrolet. 2-door. So, today, here's the strange thing. Their ghosts, their apparitions have been seen and heard on this street coming up Leavenworth and speeding, and it sounded just like the crash again. Matter of fact, since we've been doing this tour, I've had 3 people that have told me they have heard it that live in this area. I was shocked. I thought only I at 150 years of age experienced that type of thing. It's real. So, we call the tree that you can see the sister tree to it, the killer tree, pine tree. Okay?